And we're back on the Fowler Show. I have been following this story for weeks. We teased it in the Fowler Nation Live, and you should check those out. It happens every Thursday. The times are usually announced on Twitter before we do them. You should check them out. They're amazing. I answer all your questions. I talk to people. We read your comments. We do it all. Anyway, but I've been talking about this particular corporate merger because it is very serious. So while millions of other things is going on in the Trump administration, two absolute giants in the world of agriculture are poised to merge. If approved, the proposed merger would result in just two companies, Monsanto and Bayer and Dow and DuPont, controlling about 3/4 of America's corn seed market. Time and time again, studies have shown that monopolies result in less innovation, fewer choices, and higher prices for farmers and consumers. And we can't let it happen again, America. So let's talk about this merger in particular. So this is very scary. This is very, very, very scary. The power that these merged corporations would hold in the seed market would be unprecedented. Right? If these two companies, if Bayer and Monsanto merge, it would be them and Dow and DuPont, and they would literally have 3/4, 75%. They would own 75% of the seeds that we consume every day. 75% of the seeds that are grown in the United States of America. Now, and when I talk about seeds, let me be very precise. We're talking about corn seeds, soybean, and cotton. Now, the reason why corn is so important is because 90% of the stuff in your grocery store are made of corn, have some sort of corn derivative, either high fructose corn syrup, cornmeal, some sort of corn product. And if this corporation owns all the corn, basically what they will do is they can shut out all the small farmers that the people, like that the Republicans claim that they care about. Now, it's already bad for small farmers. Like, small farmers are really, they're just getting punched in the jaw every morning they wake up. They really are. Because crop prices have fallen by more than 50% since 2013, and there's no end in sight. And then you have Republicans trying to tinker with the corn subsidy and the soybean subsidy and the cotton subsidy that they currently receive. So farmers are already feeling squeezed, and this unchecked merger, the price of seed corn could more than double. Excuse me, let me get this fact right for you because I want to make sure you get it perfectly. Farmers are already feeling the squeeze from unchecked mergers. The price of corn seed has more than doubled in the past 10 years, from $51 per acre in 2016 to $102 in 2015 as a result of consolidations, including Monsanto's purchase of DeKalb and Carissa and Cargill International Seed Company. So Monsanto has been buying up these companies left and right, left and right. And when you have a monopoly, an upstream firm, which is what Monsanto would be, they're a supplier. They provide an input to harvest, right? And they are vicious. Like, if you are a small farmer, you're like, listen, I can't afford Monsanto corn seed, I'm going to use somebody else's corn seed, and Monsanto corn seed is found on your farm. And remember, anybody remember earth-based science? Yeah, remember how seeds germinate, and you know how seeds move? So seeds move because of animal movement, bird crap, winds, all sorts of things. And so, and there's documentaries on this. You can watch Food Inc., which is a documentary you catch on Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, it's everywhere. And basically what happens to these small farmers is they say, listen, I'm going to go with, the Fowler Show corn seed over Monsanto. But God forbid the farm next door to them is using Monsanto seed, and the bird decides to crap in their farm, and Monsanto seeds are found, or Monsanto derivatives of Monsanto seeds like Monsanto corn is found on this farm. These farmers can get sued. And they get sued not like, oh, we're suing you for $5. No, they will sue you for a whole year of crop, 2 years of crop, 3 years of crop. Meaning, you're basically shutting out these small farms and only allowing space for these huge industrial farms. So you have big industrial seed guys and then big industrial farms. Nowhere for small businesses, nowhere for mom and pop, nowhere for people who, for the people who made America great. People forget that we used to be a country driven by farming. And people forget that we used to be the breadbasket to the world. And what this type of merger from these type of corporations who are only in it for the profit. They're only in it for the profit. right, will not only hurt these small-time farmers, but it will also hurt the American people. Because we could always talk about how much corn we consume, right, and how corn is everywhere, right? But beyond that, when you have these type of monopolies running the market, they can set prices, they can set, and they could also determine what happens at the grocery store, that means you at home. Because if say for example, since there's only two companies, Dow and DuPont, Monsanto and Bayer, and they decide to double the price of corn. So in 2015, the price of corn seed was $102 an acre. Let's say that they decide to double that to $200 an acre. So that means the farmers are paying $200. That means more likely than not, the people that process the corn mills, they're going to have to pay more to process. And then the food manufacturers are going to have to pay more for the corn. And that price is going to trickle down to us. And so when you go to your local grocery store and you want to buy your Wheaties, or you want to buy your Captain Crunch, or you want to buy your soda, Sprite, ginger ale, Coca-Cola, all have high fructose corn syrup in it. And you see the price of Coca-Cola go from $1 on sale, maybe $1.29 right now for a bottle of 2 liter, go to $2. That's coming out of your wallet. And that's why these type of mergers are bad. And what makes the story even more interesting is the head of both Monsanto and Bayer had a private meeting with President Trump. And in the briefing room, Sarah Huckabee Sanders was asked, has the president made a determination on how he feels about the Bayer-Monsanto merger? And she didn't have an answer. And here, let me tell you something. I don't care if he's a Democrat. I don't care if he's a Republican. When it comes to the American people and when it comes to our pocketbook, we should get answers from this White House. And when the White House is wrong, when the White House gives the wrong answer, we should demand that they change their position. When President Barack Obama tried to push forward the Trans-Pacific Trade Partnership, a lot of Americans, including me, objected because we understood that it would hurt the American worker. Okay? And he's a Democrat who I liked. Now let me say this to you, people watching this show. If you're watching this show, if you're watching this video and you shop at a grocery store, you need to pay attention to this story, because if this Bayer-Monsanto merger happens, it is going to affect your bottom line. And this president ran on making America great again. This president ran on protecting the American people. This president ran on being a deal maker, and he said, I'm going to make good deals for the American people. Let me tell you something. This Bayer-Monsanto merger is a bad deal for the American people. And if his Federal Trade Commission, that's run by Donald Trump, appointed by Donald Trump, paid for by Trump's administration, Trump had a meeting with these two executives. If they pass this merger and they try to sell it off as something good for the American people or some job-creating measure, they are lying to our faces. Because while it might create jobs on the front end, it will hurt consumers on the back end in grocery stores and corner stores and gas stations all across the United States of America. But don't you worry, we here at The Fowler Show will be on this story, and we will bring truth to power.